It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. And we've now reached critical mass for this very exciting NBA season. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Washington, where the Wizards will be going up against the Detroit Pistons. Looking at the Pistons, they need some wins to start adding up here in a hurry. More or less half the season behind us, and they are still struggling to prove they can contend. John Wall, the clear leader on this Wizards team, does so much for him. But Shaq, I have an idea where you're going on this other impact guy for the Wiz.
Yeah, Bradley Beal's the second option on the team, and Ernie, he can produce. He also helps create plays for others with passing and spacing, and he's so good, I gave him a nickname.
Uh-oh, what is it?
The BBP.
What's BBP?
Bradley Beal Parmesan.
Parmesan. Why I don't get? Oh, Beal
Parmesan, yeah.
Instead of veal Parmesan.
Yeah.
That's tasty.
Oh, that really is. Yeah, okay. Marcin Gortat, though. I like his game. He's a veteran inside. He provides a great inside presence, and I have a nickname for him.
Do you really?
MGP.
What would that be?
Martin Gortat Parmesan.
Copycat.
It's time to head down to the floor and KHP.
Or
Kevin Harlan Parmesan.
or what about Marcin Gore Tater Tot?
Gore Tater Tot. It's also good.
Greetings, everyone, from Washington, D.C. The Wizards playing host to an Eastern Conference affair here at the Verizon Center. Welcome to 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, our game analysts, and from the sideline, David Aldridge. And, of course, Avery Bradley. This game for him, just his second game with his new team. Still a feeling out period for him right now.
And as you were mentioning, I mean, that trade has this team buzzing. You can see it in the warm-up line, how loose and confident they look now with him on that roster.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, Stan Van Gundy remains one of the most demanding coaches in the league. Dwight Howard played 5 seasons for him and gave Van Gundy a lot of credit for the growth of Pistons big man, Andre Drummond. He's going to push you to the limit, said Howard. His whole method is to get the best out of you. Throughout all the yelling and noise, you have to listen to what he's trying to say. Kevin?
At times, a contentious relationship between Howard and Van Gundy, but you see the respect there, sir. DA, thank you. Doris, we have some kind of matchup in the backcourt tonight. Being a former point guard in the Big East, I know this is what you really love to watch.
You know what amazes me, Kevin, is when you're looking opposite a player at your position who is at the elite level, you're always looking, can I measure up? This is a guy everybody in the press is talking about. The analysts are raving about his skills. How do I measure up looking at the guy directly opposite? This is going to be a lot of fun.
How do you not get diverted by him knowing that you've got the entire game to manage?
You're right. That's a great point. It can't be about one-on-one. I need to beat him. I need to, if he scores, I need to go score. Everything that you do in an individual matchup has got to be framed within the context of the team.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. The big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Bradley is out there with Reggie Jackson. And it's Harris in at the small forward. Now here is Harris. He dishes it to Bradley. Launches a 3. Rebound by the Wizards. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Pistons team.
And they were able to take the season series in that matchup last year, but overall, 2 teams that were very similar in the standings.
Here's Bradley. After the made shot from Bradley Beal. Bradley kicks to Drummond. Back to Harris. Just 5 on the clock. Releases. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Detroit on D. 4-point game. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
It snowballed on them. They lose their focus, start missing, and then it gets into your head, and all of a sudden, everyone's missing.
The Pistons have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Bradley kicks to Jackson. With the teardrop, and the layup is good.
Wow, they finally get it to go down on their 4th try.
Now here's Wall. He really played well in that last game against Charlotte. To the inside. They set the screen. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Reggie Jackson. And for a long time, the knock on Wall was that his outside shot, or lack of one, prevented him from being truly unguardable by defenses. But Dorsey went out and has put in a lot of work to improve his shot from distance.
Well, think about this, Kevin. Wall took more threes and shot a higher percentage than in any other year of his career last year. And he knows that the league is turning to be a three-point shot-focused league, and the value of a point guard that can make those kinds of shots with regularity. And if he ever gets that three-point percentage close to 40% or higher, he will be a terrifying matchup at the guard spot.
Both shots good from the stripe.
You know, it seems to me on a regular basis, we see John Wall do something on the basketball court that makes your jaw drop. His ability to find open players with his passing, the way he can get to the hoop, making the most complex moves seem pedestrian.
And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He thought he had the clean block there, but the refs saw it differently, and they call the goaltend.
Here's Washington now. With Wall, he really does seem to make this spectacular happen on a regular basis. Doris, he's helped by the fact that he has unparalleled athleticism at his position.
Well, no doubt, Kevin. This may be the most gifted athlete at the guard spot in the league. And once that was Wall's main strength, but he has taken big steps to shore up the rest of his game. His passing and decision-making have come a long way, and he continues to find ways to be a better point guard.
So it's Detroit now. Bradley Beal unable to get his shot to go. Shot clock at 5. Bradley passes to Jackson. Another 3 for Detroit. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. There's a screen by Gortat. Wall dishes to Beal. Tipped away. Gortat with the ball. He's picked up by Drummond. Beal. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
You know, we've seen the last few seasons Bradley Beal take a big jump as a player. And it's not only his ability to knock down threes. That he's always been able to do. It's his overall offensive and defensive game where he's more complete.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And he's been terrific, guys. I mean, the percentage right around 86%, so no doubt he's pleased with that.
And the first one drops. And for Beal, who continues to improve, he knows that in order to be a game changer, Doris, on the floor, he has to be deadly wherever he is with the ball.
You know, I think, Kevin, there is no doubt that Beal can take his game to another level this season. He's done much better moving without the ball to get easy looks and create space, and he is much more engaged in the little things that you need to be an elite shooting guard.
And as we look forward to the playoffs, they call it the second season. Doris, what do you look for in a playoff team to reach that level of success?
I think what you see over the course of an 82-game regular season schedule is you see teams build their habits. And most of those habits start on the defensive end of the floor. If you look traditionally at NBA champions, you can go back a long time and find that the best teams and the ones that have won championships have been consistently in the top third from all of the defensive metrics. So that's, you know, habits, defense, and then in today's NBA stars, you've got to have, I think, at least 2 and sometimes 3, depending on how big your stars are.
The Wizards have been solid at the line so far, 4 for 4.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
That's good from Wall.
Now, he's only 6'4" in height, but 6'9" in wingspan. Wall has elite size and speed at the point guard position.
And so John Wall nails both of them. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Jackson kicks to Drummond. There's the screen. Harris passes to Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
A room service assist to cap that possession. That pass was right on target.
Gortat with a screen on Jackson. And Wall kicks to Gortat. And it's Beal in the corner. Drills it from outside. Beal's got 7 points in the game.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Jackson dishes to Bradley. A second chance effort. He takes it up and lays it in.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Gotta believe they'll hear about it in that next time out. They have to box out better.
Now, here is Morris. Last game we saw him score 13. Beal's shot is good.
Boy, they're rolling 80% shooting out of the gate.
The Pistons trail it. Jackson kicks to Harris. No good with the triple. For Washington, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Porter in the corner. Takes a 3. It's Drummond with the rebound. Detroit's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. A 3 from Bradley. Rebounded by the Wizards. Gortat's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
You know, it's been hard for him to find the range this quarter, but I do like his aggressiveness.
All with it. Guarded now by Jackson. The shot. And that one is off. Some solid defense from Harris. Tolliver for 3. He can't get that one. And Washington the other way now. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
Their shooting percentage in that game was ridiculous. I mean, they created a lot of good looks for themselves, and you could see they were in rhythm and just continued to knock them down.
You know, a lot of that a product of how well they moved the ball, making the extra pass where it made sense. And, you know, that's how guys got such clear opportunities at the rim.
Here's Jackson following the bucket by the Wizards. Gortat with the rebound. Gortat's got his 4th rebound in this one. Left side, Wall. Morris, left side. No good off the front iron.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. Yeah, another nice bucket down low. So they've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. Hard to believe that a player as talented as Drummond slipped to number 9 in the draft, but that's what happened to him. You knew the potential was there, and you know what? He's lived up to what he can do.
Yeah, and I remember the fears were he was just too raw coming into the NBA. Always had an NBA-ready body, and he is physically imposing at times. But credit him for working hard to play to his strengths. It's why he's developed into a star.
Here's Wall. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Wall's got 6.
Boy, the focus and the extension. John Wall finding an angle and finishing.
Jackson passes to Bradley. Drummond sets the screen for Bradley. Morris with the rebound.
Yep, tough for them to bounce back when he's shooting like this. He's been off all period.
And that one's good by Porter.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Porter against Jackson. Harris, right side. Back to Jackson. Gortat with the block.
Well, providing and stout rim protection. Gortat is a two-way player. He has certainly done his part this period. Just needs to get a little more help from his teammates.
Wizards leading by 3. And Wall kicks to Morris. Beal against Bradley. Goes up to the stripe. Doesn't get it to drop for him.
Might have overthought that. Not sure how he missed that one, guys.
But they get it back. Jackson dishes to Bradley. Feeds it to Harris. Bradley passes to Tolliver. They set the pick. Jackson has the open look. It's good. This game is all even. He's got 13.
Boy, working as hard as he can on the offensive end, and he's willing points for this team.
Outside, Wall. Here's Porter. Some solid defense from Harris.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Fires top of the key. Gortat with the rebound. Gortat's got 5 rebounds tonight.
He's trying to make something happen, but obviously been a tough quarter.
Porter with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Here's Morris. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
How about the balance, the effort? Markieff Morris takes the hit, still able to convert.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. And one reason why Otto Porter saw a huge increase in his role is that, Doris, he was able to develop a three-point shot that had teams, giving him a lot of respect, and then they had to adjust to. He was always strong going to the rim, but now defenses had to follow him out to that three-point line.
Well, as you know, Kevin, having a consistent three is such a big deal now for perimeter players. Porter at 6'8" has a smooth release and no problem shooting over the arms of smaller defenders who might rotate to him. And he's developed a nice little pull-up shot. If teams ever overextend, he can just step back and knock down the 2.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. A different look here for Detroit. The feed now to Lure. And stolen by Scott. Smith against Jennings. Back to Mahinmi. That one, no good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Johnson in the corner. Off target from the baseline. The Wizards with the lead. Mahinmi kicks to Meeks. Fires the 3. Scott can't get it to go. And, well, Detroit shooting to start this game off about 41% from the floor. Here's Smith. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. Washington has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Mahinmi a screen. Jennings for 3. Kept alive by Washington. That shot off. They've got the opportunity to get the lead back.
And they've been waiting for this chance all game long.
Here's Scott. Goes back up, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
This guy puts yeoman's work on the glass. He works so hard to get second chance opportunities.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And taking a look back at his performance at the line a year ago, a rock-solid 79%.
That's good from Scott. And one thing the Pistons have been doing in recent times is honoring the members of the 2004 championship team. Retired several numbers, and rightly so. You know, Gray, that team was special.
And that 2004 had a great cast of characters, many of whom found a rebirth with the Pistons. That team helped continue the us against the world feeling that the franchise had in the Bad Boys era. Hard to express just how much that team meant to the city of Detroit.
And so it's Washington with it after the basket by Detroit. Yep, it counts.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Not the strongest play defensively, though. I mean, he was taken out by that screen far too easily.
Here's Udrich. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Detroit.
And you see not a lot of corner threes. The defense doing a good job of closing out and denying those shorter distance triples. That's what the smart teams have to do.
Wizards leading by 3. There's 48 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Now the pass to Meeks. Nice ball movement by Washington. All sorts of time. Misses off the right iron.
That kind of miss rarely happens, but when they occur, they're pretty shocking.
And the layup is good. And now a 5-point Wizards lead.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Meeks with the steal. In transition, here come the Wizards. And it's Mahimi finishing it off.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
We've got 13 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Udrich. Here's the screen. From deep. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Wizards lead by 7. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And an exciting young backcourt in Washington with John Wall and Bradley Beal. Wall said that Beal is known for his appetite.
When we go out to eat, he gets like 2 meals. You know, like some people eat 1 meal and the second meal you'll get to go home. He really finishes 2 meals at one time, and it'd be like, there's no way you about to eat that. So he likes to eat a lot, and he does a great job finishing it.
You think John Wall's hungry for a championship in D.C.?
I've seen that dude eat exactly the way John described it, and it's an unbelievable sight to behold. You literally cannot comprehend how anyone could scarf up that much food and still go out and play.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
And it's really about limiting their mistakes, and early on they've been able to do that here in the first.
Smart basketball. Be patient. Don't force anything. Let the game come to you.
We've got Satoransky. Mahimi is out there with Scott. Then there's Jennings, and it's Meeks in at the shooting guard position. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Wizards.
You know, when the Wizards last season went small, I thought they struggled on the boards. They went from a team that was top 4 in rebounding to bottom 6. They simply have got to do a better job on the glass.
And the Wizards with Markieff Morris at the 4 and Gortat at center. You like that front line?
Kevin, I certainly think there's some talent there, and that's certainly a gifted offensive front court. It comes down to rebounding and rim protection. Can they get the job done there?
Reggie Jackson's checked in for Udrich. And he makes both free throws. Doris, you've worked with so many coaches in so many different ways throughout your career. You were a player and you were an assistant coach yourself, and as a broadcaster now. Do you ever see yourself maybe back on the sidelines?
Yeah, you know, that's how I started my career, Kevin. I've always thought that when my broadcasting career is over, I miss the competition. I miss working with a group of players to sort of achieve something special. So no question I see myself back there.
Pistons trail by 11. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, as you know, things could have turned out a lot differently for Stan Van Gundy. He was the favorite for the coaching vacancy in Golden State in 2014, but in the end, the Pistons owner gave him the chance to coach and run the front office, and that led him to Detroit. Well, the Warriors went on to win the title that season, but Van Gundy insists I had to do it over again. This is exactly where I'd want to be. And Kevin, he can build this team exactly as he wants.
Thanks, D.A., and after some tough exits in Miami and Orlando, this time he holds the cards. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Here's Satoransky, and too long on the shot.
That's an outstanding effort there. Everyone knows he can shoot from that distance, and the D did a terrific job making it difficult.
To the paint. It's stolen by Smith. Left side, Jackson. Rebound by the Wizards. They host the Clippers after this game. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. And so it looks like the Wizards will retain possession here. These are the teams that have been really dominant in the paint so far this season. In the third spot, the Pistons.
You know, it's not necessarily a glamour stat, but make no mistake, their top-notch board work has been a huge key to their success.
Washington with the ball. Only given up 2 points this quarter. Scott kicks to Satoransky. That shot is off. Good D by Johnson. They push it up 4-on-3, and it's blocked by Scott. And they're able to recover. And Lure gets it to go. And so it's Washington with it. They lead by 7. Mahinmi a screen. And Satoransky kicks to Meeks. The dish to Jennings. Another shot. Meeks can't hit.
That's simply not aggressive enough. Needs to show grit and determination, and didn't on that one.
Outside for Jackson. Inside. It's tipped. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. And Jody Meeks gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Gortat's checked in for Mahinmi. Otto Porter Jr. comes in for Satoransky. Bradley Beal's checked in for Meeks. And John Wall's subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Then for the Pistons, Andre Drummond's checked in for Marjanovic. Harris comes in for Stanley Johnson. And it's Avery Bradley in for Smith. Now here's Jackson. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Dallas.
And don't forget the sensational plays he made out there. He saw the court so well, firing perfect passes to teammates for wide-open shots.
Now here's Wall. After the miss from Andre Drummond. Beal from long range. Good on the three-point shot. Beal's got 12.
Good defense, better offense. Beal is unfazed.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Well, you just have to love the motor of Gortat. Always is moving to open space doors, keeping the defense on their toes. And when the ball goes up, you know he's going to be crashing.
Well, I think, Kevin, you would agree that very few other big men move as much as Gortat. He's got great timing on when to dive in for a rebound, and his movement creates so much chaos for opponents. And I think it also opens up opportunities for the guys around him.
Markieff Morris is checked in for Mike Scott. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Detroit. Pistons trail by 10. Outside Bradley. There's a good screen. Harris a screen on Porter. Here's Drummond. Gortat with the block. Porter against Harris. It's good. And it's a 12-point Wizards lead.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Pass to Drummond. Tries a three. Detroit, no good that time either. The Wizards have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. That doesn't go either for Beal. Pistons trail by 12. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure. Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
No, and it looked like he got a bit ahead of himself and just couldn't pull back.
Detroit's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And the foul called on Markieff Morris. That is his first foul of the game. Harris kicks to Drummond, and the rejection by Gortat. And it's Beal in the corner. It's stolen by Bradley. Here's Jackson. Here's Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, guys, we have got in the NBA.
The tireless work ethic, the passion. He's a guy the team relies on for that.
Here's Jackson after the basket by Washington. To the inside, off the pick. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
Well, I tell you what, it didn't take long for everyone to recognize that Andre Drummond was going to be a dominant rebounder in this league. He just inhales everything within his reach out on the floor. And then he's got that great blend of length and strength to get after every miss. Incredible feet and hands to go along with that. And this is a guy that just has superstar written all over him.
That one is no good. And it's hard to stop talking about Drummond. The rebounding, of course, helps him get the easy points when it comes on the offensive end of the court. Greg, a terrific offensive rebounder.
It's almost like a feedback loop with him. I mean, you get an offensive board, he gets an easy score. He starts getting on a roll, and then the next thing you know, he's blowing up for a 20-20 game.
Wizards leading by 9. Dishes it to Morris. He kicks to Gortat to the right side. Here's Wall, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And there's the foul against Detroit.
One of the most valuable and fundamental plays in the game, a convincing pump fake. Nice one there by Wall.
So far, he's hit all of his shots at the foul line, going 4 for 4.
2 shots.
And that one falls for John Wall.
And you look back on the Pistons, and whenever that group has had success as a franchise, it's always driven by a team-oriented concept. I mean, yeah, they've had stars, Isaiah Thomas, Chauncey Billups, but at the heart of all their title runs was a group of 5 guys that just played for each other.
And thinking about the Pistons and their history of winning with pure team basketball, Greg, you can see that this is what this group is always striving for.
Yeah, and Kevin, this group right now reminds you a little bit of those Pistons teams of the past. I mean, they're founded on defense. They got that tough mentality in the paint. You've got to be excited about this roster they've assembled here in Detroit.
Washington leading now by 11. Here's Morris. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Morris has got 6 points.
Well, that's just a nice decision by Wall. Found him wide open.
Timeout.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
You know, just looking at Marcin Gortat in his career, it's hard to find a more consistent player at that center spot. You know, he always shoots an efficient rate from the floor, doesn't miss a lot of time due to injuries, and you can always expect him to be available.
With Gortat, he's been a double-double machine for teams ever since he became a starter.
Well, I think it just speaks to the effort that Gortat gives on the floor, Kevin. You know he's going to use that great footwork to get you scores from the low box. And you also like that he can get you production without needing the offense to run through him.
Beal against Bradley. Outside Jackson. Kicks it to Tolliver. to the middle. Gortat with the block.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the back.
Oh! Wow.
Sublime stuff, guys. Absolutely sublime.
Agreed. He's going to start putting on a show now. And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. Detroit, no good that time either.
Yeah, his shot's been out of sync, and it really has held them back tonight.
Knocked away and stolen by Drummond. Jackson dishes to Bradley. Tolliver for three. Morris with the rebound. Wizards leading by 15. Outside, Wall. Morris a screen. And Wall kicks to Morris. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. In the corner, Bradley with it. Here's Drummond. Gortat with the steal. Outside, Wall. It's good from long range. Wall's got 7 points for the quarter.
I think that pull-up jumper is a shot the defense will concede to John Wall. They think you can't take away everything.
Jackson passes to Bradley. Shot to end this cold run, but he recovers it down low. A second chance effort. Gortat with the block. And the shot goes down. That's 7 points for Andre Drummond. Washington's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Outside, Wall. That's his 4th basket of the game, and he's only taken 4 shots. Off to a good start.
He's been lights out here in the second, and that's after a pretty good showing in the first.
Now here's Jackson. 13 points in the game. Drummond a screen. Off the screen. Tolliver for 3. That one doesn't drop. And the Wizards now going the other way.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have. You're right. Here's Wall. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Wall's got 17 now.
You'd have to say this is his quarter. He has destroyed every tactic the defense has thrown at him.
Jackson against Wall. Jackson dishes to Harris. Passes to Drummond. Gortat with the block. All with it. He's got 17. He's looking for Porter and finds him. It's hauled in by Harris. Pistons trail by 20. Here's Jackson. Detroit, no good that time either.
You know, they're trying to battle back, but he's missing shots this period.
Morris got a piece of it. Now Detroit moving it up. Jackson's got the ball. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. And a look here at the shot chart.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. And he knocks down the first one. Well, for Bradley Beal, he's just an incredible three-point shooter, and Doris always has been since he came into the league out of Florida after growing up in the St. Louis area.
Well, think about this, Kevin. Beal has never averaged less than 4 three-point attempts a game in his career. This is one of the most consistent three-point threats in the NBA, and his shot is effortless. With how well this guy shoots, you almost wish he could shoot more often and see how far he can take his game.
Doris, you've talked to so many and heard a lot of insight on which coaches in the NBA have the most impact on the game. You've coached, you've played. Gather it in for us. Give us a compass on this topic.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because you can go in a lot of different directions. You look at a guy like Doc Rivers, who, because he played, there is this, seems to be this natural affinity of the players. You talk about a player's coach, understands relationships, won a championship in Boston, convinced a group of offensive-minded guys like Paul Pierce and Ray Allen that they needed to play defense to the level of Kevin Garnett. You also look at a guy like Eric Spoelstra, who, though he is young, paid his price to come up through the ranks, talks about spending years in that dark, dank Miami video operations room. But when guys like Jeff Van Gundy, Stan Van Gundy, Doug Collins are complimenting you as a young guy in Eric Spoelstra, I'm thinking he's got a pretty good future.
Are you surprised when good coaches don't win in the league?
Yes, but I think so much goes into winning. You have to remain healthy, and over the course of an 82-game schedule, that's hard. You've got to have great organizational strength, Kevin. We know that now ownership and general managers have to be as strong as the head coach. And listen, there's luck. You know, sometimes injuries play a part in who you match up against and who you don't. There's so much to winning.
Wonderful insight. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Washington. And the second free throw, good. And the Washington Wizards last season, Doris, 41 up and 41 down, and they ended up missing the playoffs for the first time in 3 seasons.
And remember, Kevin, this was a team that had made it to the second round and looked like a factor. And injuries played a role, and the East got better. And a new coaching staff will see if they can get back on the winning track.
Here's Satoransky looking for his first basket still in this one. 54 seconds left to play here in the half. Now Udrich. There's a screen. They get it again. Missed inside.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Here's Satoransky, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Satoransky at the line for 2.
First free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here's Udrich. 26 seconds left in the second quarter. Pass to Marjanovic. He feeds it to Smith. 15 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. He dishes it to Lure. Just 5 to shoot. Marjanovic kicks to Udrich. Another shot. The putback.
The momentum continues to go their way. Pretty much the story of the game.
And released it in time, but it's off the mark. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Wizards out front, running away with it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Bradley, great first half for you. Look, we know you come from a football-playing family. It looked like you wanted to establish control in a football-type way in the first half.
Oh, you have to. This is a physical game. You see the refs they call a lot of hard fouls, but sometimes they don't call them. So, I mean, you can't complain about it. You just have to just keep attacking. And these guys are big. This is the NBA, so you have to be physical and not complain and try to go strong every time you go to the basket.
Bradley, thanks for your time. We'll see you in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to review the first half of action. It was a great half of basketball from John Wall. He ended up with 17 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
Well, John Wall was electric. His end-to-end speed is unmatchable. And when he isn't setting up his teammates, he's killing you with those elbow jumpers or even going downtown. If he continues this in the second half and the defense can't find an answer to slow him down, they'll be tough to beat.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
They relied way too heavily on the three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off, but they still settle for the outside shots. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
That concludes our halftime presentation. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. An exceptional performance from John Wall.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
You know, he's getting the ball in a place where he can do something with it, and he hasn't had to force one thing. The game seems like it's coming to him naturally.
On the floor for Detroit, the big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Reggie Jackson out there with Avery Bradley, and it's Harris in at the small forward position.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, he took a solid angle, didn't block the attempt, but still forced the miss.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Wall passes to Porter. There's the triple. No good there. And Detroit the other way now. Tolliver for three, but they'll get another chance.
Oh, tough play underneath there to give them another possession, just what they were hoping for. A little more time off the clock.
Now here's Wall. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. It's Beal on the wing. Releases. And again, Washington no good.
He should have made that, guys. The defense was okay, but he had no excuse not to finish.
Out of bounds, Washington takes possession.
And with the pause here, how about the stats for Andre Drummond? Right around 21 points per and over 2.5 blocks. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Reggie Jackson went from a backup in OKC to signing a 5-year, $80 million contract in Detroit. And Stan Van Gundy said we liked his abilities, but what we liked even more was he's a guy we thought would not change once he got the money. This is a guy who's really driven to be as good as he can be. Kevin, he has definitely made some strides.
Thanks, D.A. He wanted that starting role, and he's earned it. Bradley, no one around him. Offensive rebound. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Drummond, that's short off the rim.
Boy, a really bad collective mental lapse. They are fortunate he missed that.
Back to Wall. To the inside. And it's sent back by Drummond. They recover it. Wall, no luck. The Pistons have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Tolliver, no luck.
Just a case of doing too much. He has to look to get his teammates involved, and his shot's just not there right now.
Beal's shot is good.
Boy, a dead eye like Beal, you better close out and force him to put it on the deck.
Here's Harris. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 4 assists in the game. Outside, Beal, right wing. Jackson against Wall. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
2 shots, gentlemen.
And, you know, if you ask any great player, what separates good from great in terms of the NBA is confidence. And Reggie Jackson has never been short on having confidence. I mean, he feels as if he's been a star ever since he came into this league and just needed the opportunity. And I tell you what, I think he's right. I mean, he's made the most of it coming over to Detroit and did not skip a beat. And I tell you what, Stan Van Gundy is very happy to have him at the helm of that point guard position.
First one falls for him. And when you think about Reggie Jackson's demeanor, you can see the confidence he plays with goes right at the taller players. Loves to be challenged by the big name players too.
And it shows most in the fourth quarter. Reggie is the kind of player who wants the ball with the game on the line. He might not always come through, but he isn't one to back down from a challenge.
Good on both. And Doris, with the behind-the-scenes access you've had for so many years, what are some things that fans don't get a chance to see, experience in the NBA?
Yeah, I think one thing that I marvel at is how seriously these men take their job. This is not, yes, they are well compensated, but by and large, these men will take your heart out to get a spot on an NBA roster. And it's their vocation as opposed to their job. These men are passionate about the league. They have incredible work habits, and I'm in awe of how hard they work.
Are you surprised, too, at the playbook? People just think these plays just kind of happen. Every play is, there is some script or design for every play.
It drives me crazy when people say they'll only watch the NBA in the final 2 minutes because that's when the game's decided. We are talking about the best players, the best athletes, and the best coaching there is in any level. And to me, you're doing a disservice if you don't watch the full 48.
Great points. Now, here's Bradley. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
I like the mentality by Beal. Takes it inside, mixes it up a little bit. Nice.
This is his third trip to the free throw line.
Bradley Beal taking 2 shots.
Free throw good. Beal. And both free throws good for Beal.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Outside Jackson. Here's Drummond. It doesn't go for him. Gortat with the defensive effort. Washington's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Morris dishes to Wall. Back to Morris. The kick out to Wall. And it's off from three-point range. And, well, Detroit shooting pretty terrible here in the third quarter at around 30%. He doesn't usually fire from out there. 16 points for Reggie Jackson. They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become.
Now here's Wall. He's got 19. It's Beal on the wing. Nice ball movement by Washington. Gortat, and off the front iron, and in it goes. Gortat's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, make no mistake, this guy a high percentage finisher inside. Gortat can finish with either power or finesse.
And it's Drummond missing.
Yeah, terrific all-around effort from the defense. They were not going to let him finish over them.
Here's Wall. That one is good again. He's 6 straight from the floor with the basket.
Boy, when he's in rhythm like this, the whole team benefits. His scoring efficiency gives them a major advantage.
Jackson kicks to Tolliver. There's a screen. Feeds it to Harris. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Now for the Wizards,
shots,
we know
gentlemen.
their playoff hopes always hinge on the continued all-star play of point guard John Wall. He's the engine. There's no doubt that makes everything go for this team offensively.
And Doris, the Wizards, one of the better passing teams in the league last season, tied for third most assists, and their turnovers not bad at all.
Well, I think, Kevin, so much of the play creation responsibility falls on John Wall's shoulders. And to become more dynamic offensively, I think they need other players on their roster to be more active breaking down the defense.
And Harris drops them both. And Washington has possession. And here's Wall. 21 points in the game. Morris a screen. Beal against Bradley. From deep, Wall. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
I'll tell you, he's getting after it on the offensive end. Wall is doing work.
Wall against Jackson. He tries for 3. Rebound, Washington. Morris has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Here's Wall. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he really carried the momentum from the last game right to this one. He is rolling.
Bradley can't get it to go.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
And Wall kicks to Morris, and stolen by Drummond. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. Gortat with the block. They get it back. Count that one. Bradley's got his 2nd basket. Washington has gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Wall passes to Beal. And Gortat kicks to Wall. Now the feed to Morris. There's a screen by Gortat. And the foul called on Markieff Morris. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, he looked clumsy on that one. He was not going to get away with that.
And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Mahimi's checked in for Markieff Morris. Satoransky comes in for Porter. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Bradley Beal. And it's Jennings in for John Wall. And then for Detroit, John Lure, he's checked in for Tolliver. Udrich comes in for Bradley. And it's Ish Smith in for Jackson. So it's Washington now after the basket by Detroit. There's a screen by Gortat. And stolen by Udrich. 3 on 3. On the wing, Harris. Shoots it up. Washington with the rebound.
Ill-advised shot there.
You know, I really expected him to swing that one back around.
Offensive rebound. Gortat dishes to Meeks. The base from 3-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the 3rd. Harris missing again. Washington's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from 3-point land in the 2nd half. Jennings kicks to Satoransky. Mahimi passes to Gortat, and it's Gortat finishing it off.
That's quick leaping ability for a 7-footer. I'll tell you, Gortat dangerous around the rim.
Smith dishes to Udrich. To the paint. And it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
One shot. Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Wizards making a switch here. Scott's checked in. And Detroit with a change here too. Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. Detroit shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And Brandon Jennings gets the whistle that time. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Marjanovic checked in for Detroit. Here's Udrich. He's guarded by Meeks. Now Udrich. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Udrich has got 4 this quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And Meeks kicks to Scott. There's the pick. It's back to Jennings. And it's Lure with the rebound. And, well, Detroit shooting 32% overall right now, not one of their better showings. And the rejection by Mahimi. And here we go, fast break. Jennings has got it. Scott can't get it to go. Here are the Pistons with the ball. Udrich, the pass to Lure. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Well, folks, tonight a great rebounding game we're watching in progress. And now, you know, with that in mind, Let's take a look at the all-time record for rebounds in a single game. How about Wilt Chamberlain with 55 rebounds back on November 24th, 1960.
And guys, that's one of those records that always seemed to me impossible to break. I mean, in the modern era, nobody's even sniffed that 55 rebound mark. I mean, heck, a lot of teams don't get 55 rebounds in a game, and Wilt's owned it since 1960.
Free throw good, Lure.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
And Lure drops them both. Now, here's Meeks. 6 points for him. The pass to Jennings. Mahinmi a screen. Back to Meeks. Three-pointer. And it's Lure with the rebound.
It's ironic. As he continues to search for his rhythm, they continue to stay in the lead.
And the shot is good from Johnson.
You know, a nice flow to that play. Led him right into the attempt with the sharp pass. It has to be crisp, and it has to be on time.
Now here's Jennings. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Detroit's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Smith. Here's Marjanovic, and the rejection by Mahinmi. And he recovers it. Here's Jennings. 1:58 left to play in the third. Outside, Scott. The dish to Meeks. 6 on the shot clock, and the shot goes down. Meeks got 8 points. And here are the Pistons. They're on a 15-6 run. The drive by Smith. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. Here's Jennings. .127 left here in the third quarter. Over in the corner, Meeks. A three-pointer off the mark.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far.
Well, they're going to have to look elsewhere for points because he has pulled a Houdini and completely disappeared from the offense in this one. Just no production from him, and nothing seems to be in rhythm for him right now. It's just not his night.
The first free throw is good. So Johnson hits 2 of them. We've got 1:13 left in the third. And Meeks kicks to Scott. Pass to Jennings. There's a screen. 11 feet away. The rebound by Marjanovic. Marjanovic has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Udrih can't hit. Wizards leading by 18. To the left side wing. Here's Satoransky. Rebound by the Pistons. Smith's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Johnson right side. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 4 assists now tonight.
Boy, worked out well for them that time. Always love to get the ball inside and cash in from close range.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Here's Satoransky. Mahimi dishes to Jennings. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Jennings has got his second basket of the night.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
And you know he's not going to back down anytime soon. It doesn't matter if they're trailing or holding a lead like they are right now. He's going to keep pouring it on.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Washington out in front, up by 16. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center. Let's listen in now to head coach Stan Van Gundy from a few moments ago.
We need to make solid plays, okay? Solid plays, aggressive plays, but solid plays, all right?
Wanting to keep up the energy here, Stan Van Gundy would also like to add a dose of greater efficiency.
You know, it's a delicate balance. To perform your best, you need to go 100%, but also be in control while doing it.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Washington, Jody Meeks out there with Jennings. Then there's Ian Mahimi. Then there's Scott, and it's Satoransky in at the 3. Shot clock at 5. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Udrich for 3. Rebound, Washington. Mahimi's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
Washington making some changes. Markieff Morris is checked in for Scott. Beal comes in for Satoransky. And John Wall subbed in for Brandon Jennings. And then for Detroit, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Lure. Avery Bradley comes in for Beno Udrich. And it's Jackson in for Ish Smith. And the shot is good from Johnson.
You know, that's just great teamwork. Sharp assist, nice shot. Boy, love it when it comes together.
Wall passes to Morris. Outside, Beal. Drains the three-pointer. Beal's got 22 points.
He's hit 4 now from behind the arc, 2 in each half, making an impact.
It's stolen by Wall. And now the fast break. Meeks with the ball. And that comes off the assist by John Wall.
One of the top assist men in the league. Go to work, John Wall.
Jackson with it. Dishes to Tolliver. Passes it to Marjanovic. And Marjanovic with the slam.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Mahimi a screen. There's Beal with the 3. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Tolliver's got his 3rd rebound tonight. In the corner, Bradley with it. Gets the 3-pointer to fall.
Ooh, finally hitting one from range. That's his first 3 of the night.
And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Mahimi a screen. Outside, Beal. The 19-foot shot, and Washington again with the bucket.
You know, whenever Beal gets a little breathing room, he just knows how to make the defense pay.
Jackson kicks to Bradley. Back to Jackson. Johnson dishes to Bradley. Pass to Tolliver. 6 to shoot. Offline with his 3.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Meeks passes to Morris. Back to Meeks and taken away by Johnson. Tolliver for 3. That shot off the mark. And the Wizards now going the other way. Here's Wall, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. Porter's checked in for Jody Meeks. And then for Detroit, Drummond comes in for Marjanovic, and Tobias Harris subbed in for Johnson. Here's Porter, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Wizards lead by 21.
Well, when Porter gets that kind of room to operate inside, he's extremely dangerous.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. And Harris wide open. He shoots. Here's Jackson. He's off on that one. Wall with some nice defense. Wizards leading by 21. Morris outside. Here's Porter. Some solid defense from Harris. The Pistons have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Puts up a 3. Harris missing again.
And he has slipped into a funk. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Got confidence. He's lacking poise. He's forcing things that aren't there. He's just taking shots out of rhythm.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
In the corner, Bradley with it. Takes a 3. Offensive rebound. Second shot opportunity. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Analytics certainly have jumped up in their usage around the NBA. Doris, how do you feel it's been used? Is it here to stay? Where's it going?
You know, it's been such a fascinating discussion amongst players and coaches. The coaches, by and large, will tell you, yes, we like analytics, but I have to coach by feel. And I don't think you can overvalue or undervalue either one. You're never going to take a step back, Kevin. The metrics of it are too important in terms of how we're able to track the movements of players. They haven't worked hard enough today. We can go hard again tomorrow. I think it's all important. But I think the best organizations are the ones who look at things in its totality.
It's taught me about the game. I mean, and the things that maybe I've never thought about
like
as a
what?
fan. You know, like, you know, the success of jump shots between 10 and 16 feet. How many times the guy goes to his right as opposed to his left. What his favorite block is to set up in. How much he's been used in practice during the week. Where they're going to go defensively, where the weak spots are. Just different things to consider, which gives you a taste of what coaches and organizations go through during a game, during preparation, and getting ready for their opponent.
Yeah.
There's so much to consider, and you can be overloaded by analytics too.
You were sitting there describing that, and I thought these are all excellent points. At what point does it become overload? At what point are you able to filter out the necessary things? I imagine that's an art.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
How about all 4 of Bradley Beal's brothers chose to play college football? The outlier and the wiser choosing round ball.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Got a piece of it. Beal with the steal. Morris outside. Outside, Wall. One of the topics, Doris, that's come up recently relates to the NBA scheduling with all the talk of trying to delete these back-to-back games. Players don't want it. Their performance isn't good. A lot of them will sit and rest, which is kind of cheating the fan that pays a lot of money to go see a big star play, and then he's not going to play because it's the 3rd and 4 nights.
Correct, and you and I have talked about this. You can shorten the exhibition season, Kevin. Go from 10 to 12 to down to 3 to 4. I think that the teams will benefit from that. You can start the season just a little bit earlier. It's so crucial that the NBA product be as good as it should be, and the way to do that is to make sure 4 and 5 and back-to-backs are reduced to the greatest measure possible.
You don't run a championship horse day after day, night after night.
I'm not cracking the whip on you or anybody else.
But you play every other day? That is a horse you can ride. Outside, Beal. Porter in the corner. Just 5 to shoot. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. The Pistons shooting a paltry 33% in the 4th. Not a good showing for this offense. Here's Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Outside, Wall. Beal from long range. Rebound, Detroit.
If you're going to screen for your man, screen like you mean it.
And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to be on John Wall. Doris, we've seen more teams look to expand their offenses and stretch teams out. You can't analyze the NBA now without using the word spacing to look at a play.
Yeah, it almost makes you feel like perhaps that post play is being phased out of the game. I don't like that. To me, some of my best memories is watching Hakeem Olajuwon deliver the dream shake on the block, or Patrick Ewing, you know, overpower somebody. What's your take? I mean, do you think this is something that is simply cyclical, Kevin, where the post play is out of it, or do you see a time where maybe it comes back in?
Well, you've talked about the influence of a Steph Curry and what his long-range shooting means for all these young kids playing on playgrounds around the world.
Right.
They're intrigued by it. They're going to work at it. They see future glory for themselves.
Correct.
I think spacing is here. I think seeing players move without the ball, cutting without the ball, enjoying the passing, enjoying the dribbling. They're bringing in parts of the game which are so eye-pleasing, so fun to watch, and I'm sure it's fun to play, too.
No question. I think, obviously, there's something so exciting to the team making the 3 and so demoralizing to the team that's having it done to them.
Think of how few players are the size 7-footers, 6'8", 7'2", that have that kind of size, that can play that kind of game. You're talking about a very small number.
You're 100% right.
A lot of 6'2", 6'1", 6'3" kids out there,
no
boys
question.
and girls, that can play that kind of game.
Well, we keep talking about Steph Curry. Draymond Green may be revolutionizing the NBA.
Detroit also making some changes. Bradley's checked in for Reggie Bullock, and it's Jackson in for Langston Galloway. And it's Drummond missing. Wizards leading by 22. Wall dishes to Gortat. Stolen by Jackson. Pull-up jumper. Jump shot is good that time. And the NBA allows more fouls than college with 6, but some feel it might not be enough as it affects games too heavily. We lose some of our best players too early, some say. What is the right amount? Too much, too little? What do you think?
Well, I think they're right where they need to be perfectly frank. And if you remember in college basketball, the Big East, when Patrick Ewing was playing there, they went to 6 fouls, and I thought the level of physicality became absurd on the college level. However, it's different on the NBA. I don't think that 6th foul, it's the perfect amount for this league. I get that the fans want the stars to be on the floor. 6 fouls over a 48-minute game is absolutely perfect.
That's good from Harris.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line, they needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Kelly Oubre. And so he makes both from the line.
He's forcing the action now, finally getting to the charity stripe after no freebies in the first half.
There's a screen by Gortat. And stolen by Drummond. And here's Bradley from 3. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 8th assist in the game. Wall against Jackson. There's a screen by Gortat. Beal, that's for 2. The Wizards with another miss.
You know, in most situations, coach is okay with him taking that shot, even if it doesn't go in.
Bradley can't get it to go.
He really had no excuse not to make that shot. Hopefully it won't shake his confidence.
Back to Wall. High post, Gortat to the wing on the left. Pulls it from 20. That one off the back iron and out.
Ill-advised shot there.
You know, I really expected him to swing that one back around.
Chalk up 2 there. 16 points for Tobias Harris.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
Wall passes to Morris. Here's Beal. And that time, also a missed shot.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way. He thought he had the clean block there, but the refs saw it differently, and they call the goaltend.
Wizards leading by 11. Left side, Wall. Up and in on the layup. Wall's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Look at John Wall. What a contribution so far.
This is a quality timeout. I mean, this guy is just lights out, and they've got to do something to cool him off.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy told the team. He told them flat out, we are turning the ball over too much, guys. We can't keep making the hero ball play. Slow it down, run the offense, and make the safe pass. Back to you, Kevin.
Wall against Jackson. Drummond a screen. Jackson kicks to Bradley. With a floater. Here's Drummond. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
You know, the putback there, a product of his strong effort on the glass. Never gave up on that play.
Free throw, no good for Drummond. They can take their time on this possession.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Just give themselves a little bit of a break.
Outside, Beal. Clock at 6. Back to Wall, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Pistons trail by 11. Jackson with it. He's picked up by Wall. They set the pick. Jackson dishes to Bradley. Six on the shot clock. He kicks it to Harris. And the lead is down inside single digits. Harris has got 14 points here in the second half.
That's just terrific team basketball leading to a bucket. Great feed, better finish.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
That free throw good for Morris. Now for Markieff Morris, he feels like he has found a home here in Washington. As soon as he was traded to the team, he felt welcomed and enjoys, Doris, the close-knit relationship the team has within its roster.
And you know what, Kevin, for Morris, that's a big deal to him. He is at his best when he's comfortable with the situation he's in. And if he feels welcomed, he'll focus on his play, and that is when he's at his best. And listen, he might become a fan favorite with the way he will gush on about this Wizards organization. But I love the determination, guys. It's simply not there for him right now.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Wizards.
They made the most of their free throw opportunities.
They just shot much better, and that improved their confidence, I think, as a team. It was a team that believed they would make those shots.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season. And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Wall.
Well, we're not going to be surprised when he turns in a game like this, but I thought he played especially well, and a ton of productivity to go along with it.
Porter passes to Gortat, kicks it to Wall. Stolen by Jackson. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, John. Congrats on the win. What was the key to getting it done tonight?
Well, man, we do a good job of helping. We know it's not one-on-one matchups. We do a good job helping, and that's our job, is to come out here and play. And the way we play here, man, is we got to find a way to play on the road.
Yeah, your game has to be able to travel, and we'll see what you guys can do with that. Thanks, John. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, friends and neighbors. Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith as we move forward to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, John Wall. I'll tell you what, his season high in points powered everything they did. Clearly, he was the catalyst tonight as they come away with the well-deserved W. What are your thoughts, Kenny?
Once again, John Wall proving that he has developed into one of the NBA's true superstars. The choices he makes with the basketball in his hands are so intelligent. Great job tonight. The smartest player on the floor tonight. He had the defense guessing all night long.
He loves playing in front of his home crowd. He looked like he was having a blast out there, and he gave them a lot to cheer about. Whether he was scoring or doing something else, he was involved in so many big plays.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.